All right, check. I'm going to read a section out this book. The book I'm reading from, Lords of Light, The Path of Initiation in the Western Mysteries by W.E. Butler. So the part that I'm reading about, the author touches on thought and thought forms as it relates to the conscious and subconscious mind. All right. So, question. You have spoken about the responsibility of thought. Could you talk about the mechanics of thought? Are your thoughts what you observe, or is thinking something you do? There are different opinions about this. It has been said by one authority that your thoughts are independent. You don't make them yourself. They spring up in your consciousness, as it were. Thought is a creative activity of the human mind and a quality inherent in humanity and to a lesser degree in the animal kingdom. We make thought forms by the power of our thought, and we observe them when we make thought forms by the power of our thought, and then we observe them in our consciousness. The thought form actually comes from the subconscious or subjective mind. We think, and the idea is accepted by the subconscious, which sets it in motion in accordance with the strength of the emotion behind the thought. Say we're trying to remember where we've put something, like our glasses or a book. We visualize consciously the room where we think we may have lost that something. We create the thought form with that visualization, and then, by consciously observing the thought form, we try to see whether it has any relevance to our present problem. It's a dual action all the time. You observe the thought forms, but you don't originate them in the conscious mind. That happens in the subconscious. Question. How then can you be responsible for them? You're responsible for them the moment you receive them. You scan these thought forms with your conscious mind, and then you scan these thought forms with the conscious mind, and then you either accept them or banish them. That's your responsibility. There are two methods of meditation where you use thought forms. In the first one, you allow the images to rise up from the subconscious without any input from your conscious mind. You just let them come up, take the lid off, and see what floats before you. In the other way, although it is actually your subjective mind that does the making, you deliberately create a thought form in your conscious mind. All you do with your conscious mind is simply give the command to the subconscious. I tell it I want a thought form of an orange, and up comes an orange. But the engineering is all done down below. Whatever you are thinking, you don't create thought forms consciously at all. It's a very intricate mechanism, which would take a couple of hours to explain in detail. Briefly, the answer to your question is that thought forms are produced in your subconscious. They rise to the conscious mind, and it is the conscious mind's responsibility to accept or reject them. I can give you a simple, though potentially tragic example. A mother watches over her young child going off on his bike. He's going to cycle along a busy road for the first time, and she's filled with fear for him. Immediately, The subconscious sends up a thought form of the child lying in the street in a bloody heap. Now, the mother, if she knows anything at all, will expel that thought form double quick. Slash it with the cross of rejection, which the subconscious mind will understand. But should she harbor that thought form and charge it with emotion by turning it over in her mind, well, it's simply asking for trouble. That particular thought form is created by fear, but it was the mother's responsibility to either reject it or dwell on it. All right, so I'll leave right there. That's a pretty good, quick little word about thoughts and the subconscious and conscious mind.